And as a result of all of that, very stable and very safe in our ornamental situations. So the way the Prodiamine works is the active ingredient. It's known as a mitotic inhibitor. So mitosis, as we all know, is that process where the cells create a duplicate of their chromosomes before cell division. In this little animation here, we're at that stage called metaphase, where they start to line up and then the cells will divide. So by disrupting the process of mitosis, therefore the cells cannot divide. When they cannot divide, the plant cannot start to nurture and grow itself. And then as it's taking in that active ingredient, it will die. So you might start to see instances where you might start to see a little bit of germination, right, of a weed that's been treated in an area with something like Barricade. As soon as it impacts that active ingredient, it'll then die out. So as I mentioned, where you place it is where it stays. And this graph is sourced from the Herbicide Handbook, a very good resource in terms of all things talking herbicides. On the left-hand column, you can see a variety of different active ingredients, Prodiamine, and some of these are going to be quite common to you all. And you may have used them, you may be currently using them. And when we look across some of these columns here, KOC is the ability of an active ingredient to bind itself to soil carbon. The C is carbon. Okay, so our humic matter, things like that in the soil. When we combine that then with the soil half-life, okay, of Prodiamine, a very long half-life. When we combine that with solubility, we come out then with what's called a leaching potential. So solubility is the ability of a herbicide or an active ingredient to move within the soil profile once it's been applied. So very low solubility means it's not going to move, right? It's not what will be called non-mobile, right? As we start to move up those numbers there, the concern then is that when you apply something like, you know, in this instance here, a pre-emergent herbicide active ingredient, it's applied and then you might have some rainfall 3, 4, 7 days later or something like that after application. The higher that solubility index means then that there is that potential for that active ingredient to move off target, and it can then either leach lower in the profile, it can move laterally down slopes and things like that as well. So Prodiamine, the active ingredient in Barricade, when you combine the ability of it to bind to carbon, its half-life and its solubility, it has very little to no leaching potential. So as long as you position it in the zone of activity well, the half-life then means you will get that extended period of up to 6 months control in your weed control programs.